If you go back in time to the 1950s, driving without a spare tire was like walking through the desert without water. It was indispensable, a symbol of thorough preparation. Many car models even proudly displayed the spare tire on the trunk lid like a glittering piece of jewelry. But look at the cars of 2026. The wheel, once a guarantee of safety, is now just an empty space, or worse, filled with cheap spray glue. Why has an icon of the automotive industry been so brutally killed off? What has changed in the last 70 years? Tire technology has improved significantly, or have we become too reliant on tow trucks? Let's take a closer look at the 20 kilograms disappearing from your trunk. Let's turn back the clock to a time when the spare tire was more than just an accessory. It was an unwavering commitment. Whether you drove a sleek sedan or a rugged SUV, the spare tire was always present as standard. It sat proudly under the trunk floor or hung ruggedly on the back of the car as a symbol of conquering power. Back then, driving culture was synonymous with DIY, do-it-yourself. A flat tire in the middle of the road wasn't a disaster, but a test of skill. With a jack, a wrench, and 15 minutes of hard work, you could continue your journey. The car wasn't just a means of transportation, it was a symbol of absolute independence. With a spare tire, you didn't need to wait for roadside assistance, you weren't dependent on cell phone signals, you controlled the road and your own risks. But then everything began to change, quietly but very quickly. Over the past decade or so, a silent purge has been taking place beneath your vehicle. Industry statistics show that approximately 30% of new cars produced today are completely empty in the space originally designated for the spare tire. Instead of a heavy rubber tire, you get just an emergency repair kit, a mini air compressor, or in many cases, nothing at all. This disappearance is so quiet that many car owners only realize it when they're stranded on the side of the road with a flat tire. This raises the question, why are manufacturers choosing to remove such an iconic and essential safety feature? Is this a technological advancement or just a sophisticated cost-cutting tactic? The answer doesn't lie in a single reason, but rather a combination of factors. The first reason lies in a simple physics problem: weight. A spare tire, complete with a jack and replacement tools, typically weighs between 15 and 25 kilograms. In modern automotive manufacturing, this is a real burden. Removing the equivalent of a child's weight from the trunk significantly improves miles per gallon. As emissions regulations and environmental standards become increasingly stringent, every gram of weight saved is invaluable. A small change on a single car may seem insignificant, but when multiplied by the millions of vehicles produced each year, it creates a massive environmental impact for an entire corporation. But fuel efficiency is only part of the story. In modern automotive design, floor space has become the world's most expensive real estate. Engineers are engaged in a battle for survival to expand the cabin and optimize aerodynamics. As the massive battery packs of hybrid and electric vehicles begin to arrive, they need ample space to reside. Guess who's going to be the first to go? The bulky spare tire. Removing the spare tire that occupies the trunk allows automakers to extend the cargo space, install more smart amenities, or simply create a flat undercarriage design for smoother aerodynamics. In this new era, every inch of space holds immense economic and user experience value. The spare tire is now like an uninvited guest, taking the place of flashy future technologies. And then technology arrives, bringing a new promise. To alleviate customer anxieties, automakers have introduced a new technological shield: run-flat tires. In theory, these tires have extremely thick sidewalls, allowing you to continue driving for another 50 to 100 miles after losing all air pressure. Alongside this is an emergency rescue kit, a quick and easy solution to fill small punctures caused by nails without the sweat of removing the wheel. However, reality is often harsher than the flashy advertisements. Technology can patch a tiny puncture, but it's completely powerless against nightmare scenarios like tire blowouts, sidewall tears, or rim damage from a major collision. We're using a convenient solution to replace a comprehensive backup system. Technology only addresses the symptoms, not the rescue in every emergency situation. And of course, there's one less discussed factor. Behind the flowery language of weight optimization or future technology, there's another stark truth: money. A spare tire and jack set represent a significant production cost. Multiplying the $50 or $100 savings by the millions of vehicles produced reveals a massive profit margin for automakers without raising prices. Interestingly, removing the spare tire doesn't make your car cheaper. Instead, it's disguised as an improvement and modernization. Automakers are removing a feature but labeling it as innovation. You pay the same amount or even more for a car. Missing a wheel. A trade-off where the manufacturer always wins. It sounds logical, but does the consumer truly benefit? Behind the profit calculations of car manufacturers lies a harsh reality for drivers. You are gradually losing your ability to save yourself. When a spare tire disappears, your self-reliance vanishes with it. According to statistics from roadside assistance associations like AAA, millions of drivers each year find themselves literally stranded because of a flat tire that a repair kit or run-flat tire cannot handle. More importantly, not everyone has the patience or skill to use complex emergency repair kits in the dark of night or in torrential rain. We are being transformed from proactive problem solvers into passive customers, completely dependent on roadside assistance and phone signals. The false sense of security that technology provides is sometimes just an empty promise until you find yourself stranded on a deserted road. And this might be the most interesting part of the story. So what's the real story here? If you look closely, our cars are becoming like smartphones. Sleek, incredibly smart, and packed with features. But as we get high-tech sensors and more trunk space, we're losing something fundamental: self-reliance. Before, a flat tire was a minor issue that could be fixed by yourself. Today, it's a reason to call a tow truck. We're trading the ability to fix things ourselves for a seamless experience. Progress doesn't always mean more control. Sometimes, progress simply means we rely more on the system and less on ourselves. We've traded a heavy tire for a roadside assistance app subscription. So, here's the million-dollar question. What's actually hiding under your trunk floor? Don't wait for a rainy night on a deserted highway to find out. Go check your car right now. If you find a gaping empty hole or just a tiny can of pressurized foam, it's time to be honest with yourself. Technology is amazing until the battery dies or the sidewall of your tire rips open. In those moments, an app can't lift your car, but a spare tire can. You might want to consider buying a space saver kit to keep in the back. It's a small price to pay for your own peace of mind. Remember, engineers can optimize for fuel and space, but they can't optimize for your bad luck. Emergency situations don't wait for you to be ready. They just happen. Because in the end, sometimes the smallest thing missing matters the most.